Hey everybody, Gary Glass here once again. Hope everybody out there in social media world is doing well. It's a beautiful day in Southern California. Hey, we're still reading Napoleon Hill's book, The Science of Personal Achievement, and I've kind of been talking about my own real estate journeys as this story has been going on. I mentioned the other day that I had opened up the newspaper when I was out in the middle of the Barstow Desert out at the Goldstone NASA Deep Space Communications Complex, and I found an ad in there where I ended up going to a foreclosure seminar in Studio City led by Dr. Marshall Reddick. And it's hilarious because I found the manuals that he had: Wealth Builder, Financial Success Through Real Estate, $300 for this one and another $300 for this one, foreclosures, how to buy them. But this was hilarious because I got these in 1992, and I tell you, I still use these because it just in all of my business, because it helps ground me. So here it is on page 4-10, and these books are great. They were just copies with effectively duct tape binding and a little bit of a plastic cover, and that's all they were, with big staples holding these books together, but so good. But this page on 4-10, some good areas to buy in. This list is not at all inclusive, but here's some areas I've studied. Pasadena. Pasadena still has inexpensive housing and will continue to appreciate. Price ranges are $50,000 to $150,000. Of course, this is back in the day, right? Isn't that crazy? Westwood, Beverly Hills, San Marino, Newport. These areas have always had good, strong appreciation, but are very expensive. Once in a while, you can find a quote unquote good deal where you can receive excellent appreciation. If you can find deals in the $120,000 to $200,000 price range, you will probably do very well. Palm Springs, prices from $50,000 to $100,000. Hawaii, prices from $60,000 to $120,000. Here's Mammoth ski in, ski out condos between 100 and 160,000. Long Beach from 80 to 140,000. It just absolutely amazes me. And so whenever I'm doing a deal, I bring this one out and I read that page, and it just cracks me up because I know if I bought right, time will heal all any wounds that I'll end up having. So anyway, thought I'd share those with you. Hey, let's dive back into the science of personal achievement. We've gotten up to the point where Napoleon Hill wants to share with us the 12 great riches of life. And he's just going to list them out here. It's going to be really quick. So we'll probably be done in, I don't know, 5 minutes or less. So here we go, page XXII, still in the introduction section, which is titled Burning Desire. And the subtitle of this section is Our Two Personalities. And so here we go. To properly understand the use of the success principles, which we shall discuss, it is first necessary to understand something about yourself. It is necessary to evaluate the riches you already possess, so the other riches may be intelligently added to your life. And to understand yourself, it is necessary to recognize that every person is a plural personality. So we've got two personalities as plural, two. Everyone consists of at least two different personalities. There is, of course, the self that you see when you look into a mirror. Your physical self is only the house in which your other selves live. In that house, there are two individuals who are eternally in conflict with each other. One is a negative person, and you might even give that guy a name. I don't know, the rascal, or I don't know, chick or turkey or whatever you want to call him, who thinks and moves and lives in an atmosphere of fear, doubt, poverty, ill health, and worry. This negative self expects failure and seldom is disappointed. It thinks of the circumstances of life which you do not want, but which you seem forced to accept. And here's a listing of some of those: poverty, greed, superstition, fear, doubt, worry, and physical sickness. And then there's your other self, the opposite of the negative, which is a positive person who thinks in terms of opulence, sound health, love and friendship, personal achievement, creative vision, service to others, and who guides you unerringly to the attainment of all of these blessings. You might give that soul a name too. You might be the eagle, the lion heart, whatever you like, something positive. It is this self alone that is capable of recognizing and appropriating the 12 great riches of life. It is the only self capable of receiving the master key to riches. If we are to be rich, if we are to attain positive things in this world, we have to start with a positive mental attitude. I am speaking of material riches, of course, but I am not speaking of material riches alone. It is my hope and my purpose to share with you the knowledge by which you may acquire all riches through the expression of your own personal initiative. Enduring riches consist of many other values than material things. And what I call them, I call those the internal riches that we hold, or that, and you might call it your character, your whatever. And may I add that without these other intangible values, the position of money cannot possibly bring the happiness which some believe it will provide. Whenever I speak of riches, I have in mind the greater riches whose possessors have made life pay off on their own terms, the terms of full and complete happiness. I call these, that's Napoleon calls these, the 12 great riches of life, and it is my sincere desire to share them with all who will prepare themselves to receive them. So get ready. Here we go. You may wonder about my willingness to share, so let me tell you that the master key to riches enables its possessors to add to their own store of riches everything of value that they share with others. This is one of the strangest facts of life that you must recognize and respect if you hope to become really rich in this world. And here we go. Here's the final section of the introduction of Burning Desire. And this final section is titled 12 Great Riches of Life. So here we go. A positive mental attitude is the first of the 12 great riches, the starting point of all riches, whether riches of material nature or intangible riches. A positive mental attitude attracts the riches of, here's number 2, true friendship, and the riches we find in the hope of future achievements, which I'd call number 3, the hope of future achievements. A positive mental attitude provides the riches we may find in nature's handiwork. There's number 4, as it exists in moonlit nights, in the stars that float out there in the heavens, in the exquisite landscapes and distant horizons. Here we go, number 5, and the riches to be found in a labor of love of our own choice, where expression may be given to the highest plane of our own soul, and the riches of harmony in home relations. There we are, number 6, where all members of the family work together in the spirit of friendly cooperation. Here's number 7, and the riches of sound physical health, which is the treasure of those who have learned to balance work with play. What a blessing that is, having that balance, that work-life balance, and to be able to take care of your body and yourself in that context. And then there's the riches of freedom from fear and the joy of the riches of self-discipline. So there's both number 8 and 9, through which we may have the joy of knowing that the mind can and will serve any desired end if we take possession and command it through definiteness of purpose. And the riches of play, there's number 10, through which we may lay aside all of the burdens of life and become as a little child. And the riches of discovery of our other self, there's number 11, that other self, the riches of the other self, the self that knows no such reality as permanent failure. And the riches of faith in infinite intelligence. There's number 12, of which every individual is a minute part, and the riches of meditation. Uh-oh, I think I found 13. Maybe one of those I was a boo-boo. Or maybe they counted freedom from fear and riches of self-discipline as a single rich. Anyway, and the riches of meditation, the connecting link by which we may draw upon the great universal supply of infinite intelligence at will. Yes, these and all other riches begin with a positive mental attitude. So it's easy to see that a positive mental attitude is, without question, the greatest of all the 12 riches of life. You hold the master key to these riches in your hand. The key consists of the 17 principles that we're about to embrace. In the next chapter, we examine principle number 1, definiteness of purpose. You'll discover what it is and how to use it to achieve whatever is your burning desire in life. And that's going to do it for now. That's going to finish us up for today. We'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll have another reading and we'll keep blasting through The Science of Personal Achievement by Napoleon Hill. And such a fabulous read. Just so very good. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. God bless you. God bless me. God bless us, everyone. Bye-bye now.